On the evening of September 13th, 2009, Taylor Swift was looking forward to adding something else to her repertoire with the VMA Award for Best Female Video. All was well until Kanye West got on stage and interrupted her speech by saying the infamous, "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time." Until then, the newcomer Taylor Swift withered on stage behind him. These rather unnecessary words ignited a feud between Kanye and Taylor, which went on for several years after that night and also deeply affected their careers in different ways. The 2009 VMAs was a star-studded one. You had artists like Ye, Lady Gaga, you had people like Kim Kardashian, you had Beyonce, Jay-Z, Pink. Beyonce, Green Day, and Lady Gaga were tied for the most awarded acts of that night, winning 3 awards each, while Beyonce and Lady Gaga were both tied for the largest number of nominations with 9, followed by Britney Spears with 7. In the aftermath of his June 2009 death, the show featured various tributes to Michael Jackson, including an opening act featuring a medley of Jackson's biggest hits and a special appearance by Janet Jackson to perform her duet Scream, and the premiere of a trailer for the posthumous documentary film Michael Jackson's This Is It. But among all these stars, for the audience, was curious to see the young and budding star named Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift arrived on the red carpet in a fanciful glass, pumpkin-shaped Cinderella carriage, wearing a glittering silver gown. She was in the process of crossing over from the country music scene to mainstream pop, and for the first time she'd been invited to perform at the VMAs to sing You Belong With Me. She was also up for an award for the You Belong With Me video. The carriage and gown were a deliberate reference. Taylor was Cinderella, and the VMAs were the ball at which she could make her entry into the world of pop music. Taylor had reasons to be a little dramatic. She was nominated in the Best Video by a Female Artist category. Beyonce was also on the list of nominees that night. She was nominated under 2 categories, one being the same as Taylor, but most people didn't interpret Taylor and Beyonce as being in competition under the same category because Beyonce's video for the song Single Ladies was one of the most acclaimed of the year, and she was also up for the far more prestigious Video of the Year award, for which Taylor was not nominated. Beyonce eventually went on to win the more prestigious award that night. On the other hand, Ye didn't bother too much about gracing the red carpet with his presence. He arrived there, clutching a bottle of Hennessy. In pictures of the red carpet, you can see the level of the bottle gradually dropping as he makes his way up the carpet and drinks more and more. Ye wasn't performing that night, but he was nominated in multiple categories, and he was seated in the front row. According to Billboard's oral history of the evening, he passed the bottle around to a few celebrities while waiting for the show to start. As the event unfolded, the moment came when Taylor Swift's name was announced as the winner of the Best Female Music Video Award. This was a big achievement for the young star back then. Taylor graciously took the stage in her silver Cinderella gown to accept her award from Shakira. "Thank you so much," she said. "I always dreamed about what it would like to maybe win one of these someday, but I never thought it actually would have happened. I sing country music, so thank you so much for giving me the chance to win a VMA award. That's when a drunk Ye got up from his front row seat and rushed on stage to snatch the microphone from Taylor and said, "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time." The audience only took a brief moment to process what had actually happened and immediately started booing at Ye. The cameras then cut immediately to Beyonce, who was staring at the stage with her mouth gaping in shock and disappointment. By reading her lips, we can guess that she sighed, saying, "Oh, Kanye." Kanye shrugged and handed the microphone back to Taylor as he walked off stage, and Taylor took it and stood silently, lips pursed and body tense, as the audience erupted into chaos, some booing Ye, and some standing on their seats to give Taylor a standing ovation. The MTV people had to cover up the situation with something as Taylor Swift was supposed to perform after she had received the award, so they had to cut to a pre-recorded segment between Eminem and Tracy Morgan. The then Viacom president, Van Toffler, also caught Beyonce backstage in tears. That's when inspiration for a solution struck. He explained how it unfolded to Billboard. "I walked behind the stage and sure enough, there's Beyonce and her dad, and she's crying. She was like, 'I didn't know this was going to happen. I feel so bad for her.' And that's when it started to click in my head, and maybe hers, about potentially having the whole arc play out in that one night. I think perhaps for the only time in history at the VMAs, we knew who was going to win the awards. We had a plan for it, but didn't tell the artists ahead of time. At some point, I let her know that she was probably going to be up on the podium at the end of the show for an award. And wouldn't it be nice to have Taylor come up and have her moment then? I had to indicate to her that she needed to stay, and perhaps this is a way to have this come full circle and let Taylor have her moment. I would normally not say anything, but I had two crying artists. Beyonce later gave up her own acceptance speech to bring Taylor Swift back on stage. I remember being 17 years old, up for my first MTV award with Destiny's Child, and it was one of the most exciting moments in my life, she said. So I'd like for Taylor to come out and have her moment. As Kanye returned to his seat during the commercial break, Pink came up to him and absolutely yelled at him while the rest of the audience glared at him. According to an MTV producer, she was pointing in his face and nodding her head back and forth and giving him her 2 cents about how effed up this was, and then stormed off. Adding that after she told him off, the singer was spotted giving West the middle finger. Pink later went on to tweet, "Kanye West is the biggest piece of ish on earth. Quote me." While no one stood up for Ye, and it was embarrassing for the authorities as well at MTV, they ushered him out of the building shortly afterward. Working from a remote truck outside the venue, one producer said, "There was an awful lot of strange energy in the truck, like, oh my god, get him off, what is he doing?" A number of people were really nervous and wanted to get him off the stage, but how do you do that? I wasn't going to send a bunch of people to rugby tackle him. I turned around in my chair and I said, "Guys, this is TV gold." The incident quickly became the talk of the awards show and was widely covered by the media. In the days that followed, the controversy only continued to escalate as more drama unfolded. Ye apologized that very night through his blog, stating that he was sorry and that he completely overstepped the boundaries. He wrote, "I'm so sorry to Taylor Swift and her fans and her mom. I spoke to her mother right after, and she said the same thing my mother would have said. She's very talented. I like the lyrics about being a cheerleader, and she's in the bleachers. I'm in the wrong for going on stage and taking away from her moment. Beyonce's video was the best of this decade. I'm sorry to my fans if I let you guys down. I'm sorry to my friends at MTV. I will apologize to Taylor tomorrow. Welcome to the real world. Everybody want to boo me, but I'm a fan of real pop culture. No disrespect, but we watching the show at the crib right now cause, well, you know, I'm still happy for Taylor. Booyah, you are very, very talented. I gave my awards to Outkast when they deserved it over me. That's what it is. I'm not crazy, y'all. I'm just real. Sorry for that. I feel really bad for Taylor, and I'm sincerely sorry. Much respect." The next day on a TV show, Ye seemed to have sobered up when he said, "I immediately knew in the situation that it was wrong, and it was a spectacle," attributing the outburst to a mixture of sincerity and alcohol. "It's actually someone's emotions that I stepped on. It was rude, period. I'd like to be able to apologize to her in person," which he eventually did by calling Taylor and apologizing. Many people felt that Jay-Z's comments were significant, as he's one of the most respected and influential figures within hip-hop, also with Beyonce and rolling with Ye. He said that Ye's outburst at the MTV Video Music Awards during Taylor Swift's acceptance speech was rude, but suggested that he thinks the media overreacted in condemning him. His words carried weight and sparked a wider conversation about the state of hip-hop and the impact of Ye's actions. Many people felt that Ye's behavior at the awards show indicated a larger issue with the hip-hop community, that they tried to paint it as being disrespectful. For a few years after the incident, Ye and Taylor both went out of their way to appear to publicly bury the hatchet and put the 2009 VMAs behind them. They were seen chatting close by at public events together. When Ye won the Video Vanguard Award at the 2015 VMAs, Taylor presented it to him, describing him as "my friend," and joking, "I'm really happy for you, and I'm gonna let you finish, but Kanye has had one of the greatest careers of all time." Over the course of Ye's rambling speech, he told the audience he had smoked weed beforehand. He apologized to Taylor again for what happened in 2009, and then chastised MTV for hyping up the moment because it got them more ratings. Although it seemed that their feud was over, Ye wasn't finished with his attitude yet. In 2016, Ye released the song Famous and the accompanying video, and everything got a little bit weirder. In the music video for Famous, 12 celebrities including Bill Cosby, Caitlyn Jenner, Amber Rose, Ray J, Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Donald Trump, Anna Wintour, and George W. Bush were seen sleeping nude together in an enormous bed. While it was unclear whether the celebrities participated in the music video, which would have been ridiculous, of course they didn't, it was just models made to look like them. It garnered a lot of controversy from the viewers. Even though none of the other celebrities' representatives gave any comment on the music video, Taylor Swift's team has always maintained that the singer never approved of the lyric in Ye's music video. It contained a verse that is clearly, explicitly about Taylor Swift and the 2009 VMAs. It makes it clear that Ye thinks he maybe did Taylor a favor that night. The lyrics went, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that chick famous. Goddamn, I made that chick famous. Taylor's representatives were straightforward, saying Kanye did not call for approval, but to ask Taylor to release his single Famous on her Twitter account. Taylor's rep told the New York Times. But the real reply from Taylor was one at the Grammys. At the 58th Grammy Awards, which took place at the Staples Center, Taylor Swift picked up Album of the Year for 1989, beating the likes of The Weeknd and Kendrick Lamar. I want to thank the fans for the last 10 years and the Recording Academy for this incredible honor, and my collaborators you see on the stage, is how she began her acceptance speech. She then subtly referred to Ye's lyric by adding, "As the first woman to win Album of the Year at the Grammys twice, I want to say to all the young women out there that there are going to be people along the way who are going to try and undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame, but if you just focus on the work, you'll look around and you'll know that it was you and the people who love you that put you there." This was seen as a clear win over popular media for Taylor, but then everyone was sure that Taylor was the one who got hurt by the song and Ye was responsible for all that happened. But the story just kept growing as Kanye's then wife, Kim Kardashian, dropped the clip on Snapchat. The clip shows Ye calling Taylor to tell her about the song. In it, you can hear Ye talking to Taylor Swift about the song in a polite voice. She's pretty cordial too. "I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice," she says. It's all very tongue-in-cheek either way. Taylor Swift's publicist released a statement before Kim put up the videos clarifying what happened. Kanye did not call for approval, but to ask Taylor to release his single Famous on her Twitter account, the representative said at the time. She declined and cautioned him about releasing a song with such a strong misogynistic message. Taylor was never made aware of the actual lyric, "I made that chick famous." In January 2019, Kim Kardashian cleared the air during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen during the show's Squash That Beef segment. When asked if her feud with Taylor over the leaked phone calls was still ongoing, she said she was over it. "I feel like we'd all moved on." It made clear, though, that Taylor Swift's team was not being honest. A story that kept on going for over 10 years, changed many trends related to pop culture. The way audiences and celebrities' responses were expressed saw a massive change. It was used by a PR team for Taylor Swift to elevate her, as well as painting her as this damsel in distress, even 8 years later when she approved of Ye releasing a song with a message that she thought was tongue-in-cheek, but then reflected and said, "Oh no, this is a misogynistic message." The use of Twitter as mass media during this situation and the controversies after became known to people and really has been on the rise ever since to cover these types of beefs. But if there's one thing for certain, Kanye West and Taylor Swift's visibility both went up that night and for the foreseeable future. Who benefited from it more is a better question.